Hey everybody, welcome back to the Horror Vault. So today I thought we'd do something different, and I'm going to do kind of a vlogmas type thing that a lot of people tend to do, and I just wanted to shoot the breeze, as they say. I don't know who says that, but somebody says that. But um, yeah, I just wanted to let you know about a few things that I'm currently doing. So on a day-to-day basis, I'm usually just uh, doing the website Horror Screams Video Vault, if you haven't checked it out. Updating that with the reviews that fellow contributors have been helping with, posting them up on the site, obviously spreading news on new films, new projects, and all that sort of thing that's coming out, and of course new trailers. And every now and again, we get interviewed to do, so that's always interesting, meeting some new people or talking to some new people. But beside that, I decided to start doing kind of a little project of my own, which, to be fair, started a long time ago now. Some of them, they, some things I started off as just an idea writing down for like films, and oh, I like that idea, or I'll write that down. Eventually, I may make it into a film. Probably not, more likely, but I just liked the ideas, so I just wrote them down in a book, and that's what it was. And then I think there's a few that I've actually typed up a few pages to, and they've stayed in a folder tucked away since 2009, something like that. So been tucked away for quite some time, and then I found them out again the other day, and I was looking at them and thinking, oh, I do a rewrite on that bit, rewrite this bit, and then thought I left it again, like you do. Therefore, I leave it there, and then other things started popping into my mind, and then it was just little bits and pieces here. You go sleep at night, you wake up. In my case, wake up at early hours in the morning for no particular reason, and then have something in your head, write it down, and think, oh, I'll do something with that somewhere along the line, maybe. Which I think is a really good idea if you're going to get into writing. You make sure you have a book and a pen or a pencil, or something nearby that if you do wake up, something in your mind, you can just quickly jot it down. Because if you're like me, you'll wake up in a semi-haze and you think, oh, that's good, I'll remember that when I wake up in the morning. But you never do, you always forget it. Until eventually, somewhere along the line, you probably see something on telly and you think, oh yeah, I thought of that 4 years ago, but haven't actually written it down. But anyway, yeah, so I'll keep a book and a pen nearby to jot down notes. So I've been doing that for a while now. Now, I got a couple of friends who do short stories and write little bits and pieces out and about, and for like e-zines and online websites. Well, obviously online websites, because there aren't any other websites there. So that, and they do a couple of like short stories for books. So I've been writing a few of those up myself. One of them just sort of popped into my head, a couple of ideas, and I thought, oh, I'll write them down. Then it established it, and one of the nights I was just sat there, or here, cup of tea in hand, and these ideas just popped into my head. So I just sat there and wrote this short story. It's, I don't know, 4 or 5 pages long, maybe, if you do it A4 pages, probably longer than that. But I had this short story, so I did that one, and then I don't know why, but I got this writing bug from somewhere, and I just went through days and days and days of writing short stories, and little bits would come up, and maybe I would stick to one story and I'd finish that off, or I'd go, oh, I'll finish that, and then I'd go off and do another one, which has happened quite a lot. Mainly because I just have these ideas in my head and I want them specifically to go into a certain story, so I've been doing that. I know some people probably would say, oh, it's best if you're going to do a short story, best stick into the story you're doing there and then focusing on the next one, which I kind of agree with, but for me it works best if I'm writing something and then something pops in my head for another story, then I will put the current story I'm writing on hold and go off to the other one, write that bit down, and I'll then bounce back, which I've done quite a lot of times. I've written 5 or 6 short stories in the past few weeks. Just random ideas that have been popping into my head. Personally, obviously, most people, if you do writing or just you're doing creative work of any sort, you criticise your own work. And I've reread them a couple of times, and yeah, there's bits and pieces where I would change it, probably punctuation slightly off or paragraphing and all that kind of thing. But I personally think that they're okay. But of course, I'm my own critic, so I'm going to enjoy my work, but I'm also going to sort of think, oh, probably get it out there somewhere along the line, and then go, I really don't like that. That's a terrible story, but I guess that's just what happens when you're doing any sort of creative work. I know James Cameron, especially when he does his films, he spends ages doing a film, and when he finally puts it out, he still goes back over it several times years later and spots bits that he doesn't want. Especially, was it Terminator 2 most recently he did that with? A lot of scenes in that he digitally messed about with because there was bits that he didn't like after all these years, which is surprising really, but it's probably good in a way with certain things, but then there's other things where you probably didn't notice it yourself, so when the change happens you don't notice it at all in the film. But I know some people do get a bit sort of peeved off about films being touched up and edited after all these years, but hey, directors can do what they want if they have the say so to do these sort of things. But going back to the writing, yeah, I've written a few stories. Now, I've sent a few out. I had kind of a rejection, I suppose you could say it was a rejection. So basically, it was this online zine. I think it was an online zine. Could have been a book. But I think it was an online zine. Can't remember now. But I sent it off, and the person got back in touch with me and pretty much said, really likes the story, but the way it's written or something, I can't remember exactly the way it, basically the way it was written, I would say that. Basically how it's written, it's not something for him. He wouldn't want to print it, but he did like the story. So for me, that was a plus, because somebody liked the story, and to be honest, I think it was probably punctuation and paragraphing, that kind of thing. That could be quite easily sorted anyway if I wanted to send it off again to somebody. So for me, it's kind of a rejection, but kind of a positive step at the same time. I had my first thing I sent over to somebody, and they gave me criticism, but also gave me some pointers at the same time, which I appreciate that. So there's that, and then there's another one I've sent out, which I can't say much about at the moment, but it has been sent, so I've just got to wait now to see what happens with it. But exciting times ahead. Now, what I am considering doing is, because I come up with quite a lot of stories in my mind, and then I sort of jot them down, maybe spend a day coffee and tea, cocaine and caffeine high, you know, that kind of thing, drinking away, and tea and coffee there's drinking away, writing these ideas down, and then I sort of think, I'll send that one off again, send that one off. But then after I had my first semi-rejection back, I kind of looked into self-publishing, because I've had a few books come through, and they're from people who've self-published, and they use the I think it's Amazon's Creative Space, I think that's what it was called, and obviously you can get it on Kindle and then paperback and all that kind of thing. I looked into that, and to be honest, it looked like quite a good way to go. So if you have self-published a book and use that, let me know your thoughts on that, because I'd be interested, because if so, if it's worth doing, then I may consider doing, I don't know, a short book of short stories. I have no idea what the title is at the moment, but I'm possibly considering that and just doing short stories that I quite like, and then hopefully other people will like it as well, because I write for myself, and if other people enjoy it, that's a plus, as with most things in life. But that's the plan at the moment. A couple of short stories written, possibly publishing in its own book somewhere along the line. I don't know when, but time will tell. Now, the other thing I was going to say about titles was that when it comes to writing, a lot of the times, I know some people that write, they say, "Oh, I've written a story, but I haven't got a title." Oddly, for me, the title is the easiest thing. The easiest thing that comes out is the title. I got this idea in my head, and I go, right, that's the title, and then I work with the title, and I develop the story from that. That's just the way it works for me. Everybody's different, I know, but that's what it's got. That's how it works for me. But when it comes to possibly publishing a book, I'm not sure what I'm going to call it yet, because it could be one of them type of books that, I don't know, you write a load of short stories and you think, put it out there, see what happens, and then maybe just step away and not do anything ever again. Or, which is probably the more likely one is this one, is I'll probably write a load of short stories, get them out there, and if more appear into my mind and ideas and things, I'll write those ones down, and then I'll do a book 2 or whatever, possibly the same title, but volume 2, I know, Guardians of the Galaxy volume 2, kind of like that kind of idea, but it'd be obviously horror related, horror thriller, creepy type stuff. That's what a lot of the stuff is. Now, I think only one of them's got quite a bit, well, not quite a bit, it's got a bit of gore in it at the moment. The rest of them are quite sort of ghostly chiller type things. I think they haven't got ghosts. Some of them got ghosts, not all of them, but the ghostly chiller type stuff. But I quite like the way they've been coming across so far. But it would be interesting somewhere along the line to, one, if something does actually eventually gets published, that I can say, oh look, I've actually done that. I've written something and it's gone out and it's been published. For me, that would be a big sort of tick. Yeah, I've achieved that. I've done that. I've done that all by myself. Kind of, pat yourself on the back kind of thing. But it's not all about that. It's just having this. You have ideas, and then you just kind of think, I think other people may enjoy that. I never know. Just put it out there, see what happens. But if you got any tips on writing and doing your own sort of like short stories and publishing and all that kind of thing, let me know. Either just get in touch, PM or whatever, or just leave some comments down below and I will check them out, because it's always worth reading the comments. People come back with some really good comments, so I'd be interested to read that. I mean, one thing I would like to try eventually, I'll say eventually, is possibly the short, well, they're not really short films. They were, going back to the films, it was, I've written some ideas for films, but they kind of stayed away. They've been away since about 2009. Come out again every now and again. Have a quick read and think, oh yeah, I really like that. But don't do anything with it. It just sort of sits there. An idea that would be good is to write it all out, each one individually, which will take a lot of time because there's 5, I think, off the top of my head, that I've definitely got written down, or at least parts of it written down, just to develop them into a feature film, which is going to be quite hard work. So probably more than likely I may end up turning them into short stories, developing it from there, and then possibly see what happens if I fancy turning them into either shorter films or feature films. I don't know yet. The whole idea is just getting back into writing. I do enjoy writing, and it's just one of them things that you sort of, obviously you do from a child. You just do it and do it and do it, and you kind of get in a routine of doing stuff, and then you just completely forget about these sort of, I don't know, I guess you say pipe dreams, I suppose, kind of thing. It's not really a pipe dream, but the sort of ideas you think, oh, I'll do that now. I've got the time. I'll do it. So that's what I'm currently doing at the moment. So there's a lot of stuff going on at the moment. I've got the website, obviously doing YouTube. See, you're here. Hi. And doing the writing as well. So there's quite a lot of stuff going on. And obviously family commitments and all that type of stuff as well. Keeps me busy, which is good. But yeah, that's just what I wanted to say, really. Just keep you in the loop about upcoming projects that I am currently involved in. So, of course, there's the website, which I'll leave a link down below for you to check out. And currently, I am writing myself some short stories, which hopefully, touch wood, he touches his desk because you can't see it, but it's made of wood, so I touch my desk. Hopefully, somewhere along the line, something will get printed, but hey, I never know. That's one thing I would say, that if you have got ideas for stuff, whether it's films, art, book, photography, whatever it is, don't just sit on it. Get it out there, because the longer you sit on it, the longer you just procrastinate, and eventually you'll just go, I won't bother with it. Yes, you are going to be nervous at start. That's the big thing with a lot of stuff. You are nervous, but once you got it out there and you probably get some good comments back, you'll be surprised, and hopefully you'll be able to develop more from that. So that's a little bit of advice that I could give. Just make sure you get your work out there the best way that you can achieve, and get it out there. But yeah, that's all I want to say for now. But a little bit of a vlog, a little bit of a chit chat with you for a change. But yeah, just if you like this video, you like stuff like this, give it a thumbs up. Of course, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Leave me some comments down below about what sort of projects you're doing. Have you ever published a book or a short story? If so, how did you get on? Of course, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Hit the notification bell to let you know when I've got new videos. And thanks for watching. I'll see you this video. Bye for now.